Hello peaches! So this is not going to be my usual new setup. In case you don't know, I recently moved and I'm not sure what to film yet because this is nice, it's black and it's in a couch, so it's more like comfy. But the light comes from that wall, so you know, that's kind of annoying. But for this video I'm just going to do it here because I don't know where else to do it. So in case you don't know, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month and that's why I want to make this video, and I also have another video maybe planned that also has to do with mental health awareness and stuff like that. But this video is going to be talking about how it is to have a mental health illness when you are in a relationship with someone who doesn't have one. Because I have a boyfriend who I live here with now. We recently moved in together in this amazing apartment. We've been together for almost 4 months now. 3.5 months, I guess. And it's been going great and I love him and he loves me and it's just perfect. But there are some things, you know, both good and bad things when you do have this illness and he doesn't have any mental problems. And as I said, there's both good and bad things and I'm going to talk about both. And I have like 2 good things and 2 bad things, but they're both like very like wide in a way. I hope that makes sense. So it is not just going to be a very short video with only 4 things. It is like I'm going to talk in depth about it. And this obviously varies from person to person, depending on your diagnosis. I have paranoid schizophrenia. And not all people who has paranoid schizophrenia will experience these things that I have experienced, but you know, it's different from person to person. This is just my experience, and I want to share just, you know, to talk about it, to be open, to spread awareness about it, and hopefully if someone out there has a boyfriend or girlfriend who does have schizophrenia or something like that, you maybe see this video and kind of understand what they're going through, and maybe if you do have a diagnosis yourself, you'll see that you're not alone on this, and then maybe you will get a little bit of help from this video, I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm just going to dive right into it. Let's start with the good things. The first good thing is that I feel a lot safer, especially now that we live together, but just in general, before we moved in together, I felt a lot safer whenever we were together than I did when I was alone, because I have paranoid schizophrenia, as I said, and I'm very scared. Sometimes I get very paranoid. I think that people are watching me and there's someone who just instantly breaks into my apartment and will kill me and stuff like that. I get those kind of thoughts. But because I'm with him a lot and now we live together, so I'm with him almost all the time, I don't get those thoughts that much anymore. I still do a little bit sometimes because you can never really get rid of them 100%. But it has definitely made me feel so much safer. It has helped me tone down that part of my disease or illness or whatever you want to call it. So that's definitely a plus. Most people who have some sort of mental health issues are often, you know, they have some sort of anxiety in a way, I guess, and that really helps when you live with someone or have someone that you see often, especially when it's like a partner, because there's just a different sort of connection there than you have with friends or family. So that has definitely helped that part a lot of my disease, to be with him, because he just makes me feel so calm and safe. And then something that's not like totally in tune with the disease, but it's because of things and stuff like that. I'll explain to you. So the good thing about having a partner when you have these illnesses is, for me at least, I feel like I have more things to do at home. I'm so sick, like my mental health is so bad that I cannot work or get an education at the moment. So right now I'm just home all day, every day, pretty much. And when I was alone, I just, you know, whenever I had to cook, I wouldn't be bothered. So I just took a piece of bread and instead of like making a real dinner, and I didn't really clean that much because it's just me. I don't really care that much. I mean, why bother, you know? But now that I'm with someone, and especially now that I live with him, I feel a different sort of responsibility towards keeping this place clean and nice when he gets home from work, and also cooking for him. I love cooking. I always thought it was fun to cook and bake. When I was alone, I just couldn't be bothered because it was just for me, so I wouldn't do it, even though I thought it was really fun. I don't know why though, but that's just how my mind worked, I guess. But now that I have another person to cook for who actually loves my food, I just love spending like a lot of time making food for him when he comes home from work, and also for me, obviously. So you know, I have some more things to do. I spend more time cooking, I spend more time cleaning at home, just because, you know, now there's two people, and it's not like I feel like I have to. Like, he also is very good at doing the dishes sometimes, and, you know, tidying up a little bit. But you know, I think it's nice that I can do that, because then I have something to do, so I'm not just sitting here on the couch all day every day, because that's just not good for you or your mental health. So now that I'm not able to do an education or have a job or anything, at least I now feel like I actually want to clean the place, I actually want to make food, I want to do the groceries, stuff like that. So that's another good thing. And I'm not sure if how many people feel this way who has a sickness or disease, and as I said, it's not directly connected to the disease. It's connected to me not having a job because I'm sick, so I have nothing to do. So it's a little bit. So I guess also some people out there have the same thing. So yeah. But yeah, as I said, this is just my experience and my things. And maybe, you know, if you do have a partner or you live with someone, maybe you can start thinking like, hey, maybe I could try and make it fun to clean and fun to do cooking if you're in the same situation as me and you don't have anything to do all day. Because it's really nice. Just put on some good music, put on a movie while you're cleaning and cooking and everything. It's very nice. Listen to some broadcast or some audiobooks or something. There are so many things you can do to make it fun to do those kind of things. I often either put on some sort of podcast or some music. I very often listen to music. So yeah, that's just a little tip in case you're in the same situation but you don't find it as funny or as nice to get it done as I do. Try and make it fun. Now for the bad things. The first bad thing is, because I suffer from paranoid schizophrenia, I am very paranoid. And when I say I'm paranoid, it's in almost every way, but the way it relates to my relationship with my boyfriend is I will have to get reinsurance all the time, I guess it's called. Like, he tells me that I'm pretty and I'm beautiful and he loves me and I'm nice and I'm cute and all those kind of things. He tells me that all the time, every day, all day. Like, he's so amazing at that. But still, even though he does that so much more than I ever experienced a boyfriend do, I still get insecure. I still get those paranoid thoughts thinking, no, he doesn't. He's just saying that because something. And also with jealousy, I'm obviously very jealous because I am so paranoid. So even if he just looks at another woman, I instantly think that he's thinking about her in inappropriate ways. And it's so stupid. Like, I'm not a jealous kind of person. Like, I'm sitting now, he's not here, and he's not looking at another woman, I guess. And I'm sitting here and I'm not jealous at all. I'm like, well, he has fun, he's at work, it's nice, I don't care what he does right now, basically. But as soon as I'm in a situation where there can be some jealousy, I get super jealous. And that's also why I know it's because of my disease and not just my personality, because my personality is not jealous at all. So my camera's battery just died, and because we just moved, I cannot find the charger, so I'm just filming the rest on my phone. Anyway, I was talking about jealousy. I'm not a jealous person. Like, my personality is not a jealous kind of person. It's just not who I am as a person. But you know, when my disease takes over, I get very jealous because I'm paranoid. And that's obviously not a good thing. It's so annoying to me and my boyfriend, obviously, and I always feel bad for feeling it. For feeling that way. So yeah, that's because of my paranoia. I get very jealous very easily. I try not to take it out on him too much. I really try to tone it down and not tell him if I feel that way, because I know it's my disease that does it, and I know I have nothing. Like, I'm sitting now and I'm fine. I'm like, I know of course he would never cheat on me or do anything. So yeah, deep down I do know that, even when I'm having like a jealous kind of rage going on. So I really try to be nice to him about it, because it's not his fault that I feel this way. So yeah, that really sucks when your boyfriend is holding you and telling you how much he loves you, and you just don't believe him. There's a part of you that doesn't believe him. That's what it feels like. It's not all the time, obviously, but sometimes I just get those kind of thoughts. And he keeps telling me how lovely I am and how much he loves me and everything like that. And it's so heartbreaking to not believe him when he says that, when you do know that it's true what he says, because 90% of the time I obviously believe him. I know it, I can see it when he tells me, I can hear it in his voice, all those kind of things. But those few times when my disease takes over, I don't believe him, and it feels horrible. I feel like the worst person ever whenever I feel that way. It's just, it's the worst feeling ever. And I think most people with paranoid schizophrenia or something in that thing, something like that, have those same kind of feelings and thoughts when they're with their partner sometimes. So yeah, I have those kind of thoughts as well, and it's terrible and it feels awful. But I'm just going to tell you guys, if you have the same feelings with your partner, you are not a terrible person. I feel like that when I get those thoughts. I feel like the worst person ever. I feel like the worst girlfriend ever. So I know how it feels, but I'm here to tell you, you should not feel this way, and I shouldn't feel this way. I know that. It's just hard when you're in the situation to not feel bad and not feel angry at yourself for feeling those things. But it's not your fault. You're sick. That's how it is. But it still sucks. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it sucks. And if you have those thoughts too, you know how much it sucks. So yeah, just try not to get too angry at yourself for it, because it's really not your fault. Then the last bad thing is a pretty big thing, I guess, is that sometimes you have feelings and thoughts and requirements, I guess, in the relationship that he might not understand. I say he because I have a boyfriend, but it also, if you have a girlfriend or something, or a non-binary person as a partner, you know, your partner. I just say he because it's easier for me. So yeah, this is especially when you're with someone who is not sick. If you're with someone who has other mental problems, you might be able to get them to understand a little better. But if you're in a situation like me, who has a boyfriend who is healthy, 100% basically, it's difficult for him to understand sometimes. He is like the sweetest person in the world. So if I say something like, can you please do this just because I need you to do that, you know, clean something or whatever, I don't know. He does it. He doesn't really ask too many questions. He doesn't really say, no, I don't want to do that. Why don't you do it? That's weird and that's crazy. Why can't I just do it this way or whatever? He's so sweet. He just does it and just tries to listen. But it's still, like, I can see sometimes he's like, why do you want me to do that again? Or why do you want me to do it this way and not just the way I do it? So it's kind of difficult to explain this because it's hard to find examples, but something that is in our relationship that I'm like, I need it to be this way because otherwise my mind will just not connect and focus and make sense, I guess, is planning. Like, my boyfriend recently started a new job after we moved in here. It's really nice. But the problem is for me, which is a small problem, and I know that, but the problem is for me because of my disease, I cannot handle not knowing when he has to work. And it's not like he doesn't know when he has to work. He just got a schedule actually yesterday, I think, which is so nice and so comforting. So now it's not a problem. But before he got the schedule, he did work for a couple of weeks, I think, or maybe just 1 week. I don't know, where he only knew what happened in like 2 days ahead. He didn't know if he had to work on the 3rd day or 4th day. He didn't know anything like that. And I just cannot handle that, because it's not because I like to plan a lot of things. I am actually a very spontaneous person. I like to just wake up one morning and say, hey, let's go to the beach, or let's go to the mall, or whatever it might be. And that's why I like that bigger, more important things like work and stuff like that is planned ahead. I need to know at least a week beforehand if he has to work or not, just so I can plan these little things and say, hey, tomorrow we visit my mom, for example. I cannot do that if I don't know if he has to work tomorrow, you know what I mean? And it's just like a small problem. Like, I think a lot of people is getting a little annoyed when they don't know like what their plans are for the next week or something, but it's like very like triggering, I would almost say, for me. It's such an annoying feeling that I just don't know what will happen. Now, as I said, he has gotten a schedule that is like a month ahead, I think, or 2 weeks ahead, and that's so comforting. Like, it has really de-stressed me that he got in this schedule, because beforehand I was super stressed because he did not have a schedule. And it's so stupid because it's his job, and it's not like, as I said, it's not like I want to do big things. It's just go to the beach, for example, you know, now that the weather is nice. So if he all of a sudden had to work on a day that we planned on going to the beach, it would not be a problem because we would just do it later in the day or the next day, you know? So that's the thing. It's not like it's a problem that he doesn't have a schedule. I know that. Like, logically, it's not a problem. But because I have these things and thoughts in my head, I'm like, I need to know. I need to fucking know what's going on. Because I'm sick, there are some things that I cannot explain why I feel that way. I cannot explain why he needs to tell me when he has to do work. It's just the way it is. Another example is when I lived at home with my mom, I needed to know when she would get home. Like, it wouldn't be enough for me if she just said, I'm home around 3 o'clock. That's not enough. I needed her to text me when she was driving from the place that she were. Like, if she were at the mall, for example, I needed her to text me, I'm driving from the mall now. I'm going home now. So I don't know why, though. I don't know why. It's so stupid, because it wasn't like I was doing things I wasn't allowed to, and I had to pack it all away. I never really did that. I never did anything at home that I wasn't allowed to when I was home alone. I was just watching movies or listening to music. That's basically all I did when I lived at home. So I don't know why. It's not because I had anything to hide. It's not because I needed time to hide the evidence if I'd done something wrong. You know what I mean? It's not... I did not have a reason to feel that way. I did not have a reason for her to tell me exactly the time that she would get home. So it's those kind of things that can occur in a relationship like this, when you're sick, is you have some things and thoughts and feelings that you just cannot explain, but you know, it can really trigger you or make you feel like chaos and make your disease worse and everything like that. And just feelings as well sometimes. I need to have some alone time, for example. That's another example. I need to be alone a little, just a few hours a day. And now that my boyfriend has a job, it's perfect, because then I have like 4 hours every third day where I'm alone, and that's like the perfect amount, because I also miss my boyfriend, obviously, and love being with him. So just having a few hours some of the days in the week is just, it's so nice. And I cannot explain why I want to be alone. It's not, as I said before, it's not because I'm doing things that I don't want other people to see, because I'm doing the exact same things as I am when he's at home. I'm just watching movies or something. It's so nice to just be alone, and it's just something I need. So yeah, it's stuff like that. I hope it makes sense. It made more sense in my head, and now that I said it out loud, I don't think it makes much sense, but hopefully it did to you guys. You have some feelings and some things that needs to be done a certain way, and you cannot explain why. That can cause some problems, I guess, in a relationship. Luckily, as I said before, my boyfriend is so nice, and he just does it like, if I want him to do the dishes in a certain way, he does it. And stuff like that. You know, he understands that I want my alone time and that I need it. He hasn't complained about that. So, you know, if you have a partner that listens to you, it's not like a big problem, obviously, but it is still annoying to be this way, because I feel super annoying when I'm telling my boyfriend, like, you need to know when you have to work, because otherwise my brain will not work. It will just be broken. I feel like the most annoying person in the world when I tell him those kind of things, but it's just how it is. And my boyfriend is very understanding, and hopefully you will find a partner, or you have a partner that's understanding as well, if you have some of these same kind of problems as I do. So that was the video. I'm so sorry that I had to film on my phone for the last bit. It's very annoying. I know my charger for my camera is here somewhere, but we just moved and there's still some things lying around some places, so I'll just have to look for it. But hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully it helped you a little bit. Hopefully, if it didn't help you, maybe it just spread some awareness about how it actually is to be in a relationship, because there's also a lot of stereotypes or stigmas or whatever you call it about being in a relationship with a sick person. A lot of people do not want to be in a relationship with someone who has mental health issues because they think it's just that person is insane all the time and always, like, if you have depression, the person think that you're always crying or whatever it might be. You know, there's all those stigmas about mental health. So hopefully this just helped you understand what it's actually like. It's not, our relationship me and my boyfriend has, it's not different from a lot of other people's relationship, only a little bit in those few things that I just explained. Other than that, other than the things I talked about in this video, it's a normal relationship, 100% normal relationship. There's nothing different about it. I'm not crazy all the time. I'm not talking to things that aren't here at all, not at all. So yeah, hopefully you have learned something, and hopefully you have gotten some help, maybe even. I don't know. Press the like button if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and thank you for watching.